Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Evolved Dad Shortcast. So, this episode is going to be the first of hopefully many episodes where you, the listener, gets to choose what I talk about. So, today's question is from Alex PG01 underscore ETH. He actually asked this question in a spaces on Twitter, X, and the spaces got cut short. So I'm going to answer it here. The question is does having a child in your life bring more clarity to your purpose or goals that you want to accomplish? So I want to start by commending you, Alex. That's a fantastic question. And if you're starting to approach the idea of fatherhood with questions like that, you're going to be awesome. So I was thinking back to when my children were born, my first few children. I don't remember it fully, but I do recall somewhat of an instinct to where providing kicked into full force. This little human being is now brought into this world. And as a parent, I guess it's somewhat of a natural instinct kicks in to where it's like, okay, got to get moving, got to provide for your family. But providing at that point, I had it all wrong. Providing at that point for me was financial, making sure that there was sufficient money for food, vacations, schooling, and anything else, clothing, whatever would come up. It took me years until I truly started changing. So, if you would have asked the original non evolved dad, does having a child in your life bring more clarity to your purpose or goals that you want to accomplish? His answer would have been no. It's more of a nuisance in a way because you now have this thing hanging over your head where you have to provide. I'm not sure I would say nuisance. It's probably a little bit too strong, but it's more of a weight to carry. But asking me now, as an evolved dad, a changed man, and seeing fatherhood as it really is, as it should be seen by everyone, my answer is yes. And I'm going to explain why. When your child is born, you're a father. This is my own little way of looking at it. You're a father. A father is a biological parent. So you were part of this creation of a child. That's it. But until you show up for your kid, you haven't earned the title dad. When you start showing up for your kid and providing in more than just the way of financial, you're still just a father. But once you start showing up in more ways, that's when you become a dad. So to dive into this a little bit more, providing for children is really preparing them for life. There's a limited amount of time that we have to give over everything that we can give our children. And every father, even a father, wants that their child should have a better life than they did. In whatever aspect is that they felt or they feel that they were lacking. They never want their children to experience that. So, how do we show up for our children and give things over to them so that they can have a better life? And the answer is by giving them tools, teaching them how to deal with conflict, teaching them how to deal with other people, teaching them how to be kind to others, teaching them how to overcome their fears, how to overcome challenges, how to fight through the hard times. And the list goes on. These are all life lessons. These are the tools that our kids need to be able to trek up that mountain. Nobody's life's easy. Everybody's going to have hardships in life. And a father will never always be there for their child. There's going to be times that dad's just not there. That's just the reality of life. So every day, every moment that you could give something over to your child, you're preparing them better to have a better life. Because not only are you giving them whatever you knew before, but whatever you're learning. And how are you doing that? Most dads are not authors. Most dads have not and probably won't ever write a book. Most dads may never even write a letter to their child. So what's that medium? Lectures? No, not going to happen. The kid will zone out after 30 seconds to a minute, if you're even that lucky. If you make it a little bit exciting, maybe you can carry their attention for that long. And that's fine. But if you want to give something over, how are you going to do it? And the answer is through leadership. Because you're their leader. You lead by example. How do you lead by example? You choose where you want to get in life, and you choose what you want your child to become in life. I'm not talking about a doctor or a lawyer. No, not a career. The person themselves. Who do you want them to become? And realize that you're never going to be able to push them down that road. But you can envision where you hope that they're going to be able to reach. If they're going on a camping trip, you're going to prepare them with the tents, with the sleeping bags, with whatever tools they need to be able to make a fire. They need something to keep the bears away. The same thing in life. We prepare them with all the tools that we could give them. And the way we do that is by doing it ourselves. When us as dads are present with our children, when us as dads have conversations with our children, even when it's difficult, when as dads, when we respect our wives in front of our children, as a dad, every little thing that you're doing, your child is taking in, especially when you're not watching, especially when you're doing things by route. That's what's going on. That's how having a child in your life can bring more clarity to your purpose and goals that you want to accomplish. Because you're setting a new standard. And you so desire to be better because you want your child to have a better life. And it lights that fire inside of you. You don't need any other motivation. You start finding new goals, higher goals. Your purpose changes and it becomes clearer because you've chosen exactly where you want to go, because that's where you want your children to be able to go. So that's my answer. Having a child in my life now, having children in my life, brings more clarity to my purpose and goals that I want to accomplish. And every day, it excites me for that. And every day, I want to do a little bit better. I want to be better so I can give my kids better now and in the future. And I'm doing my workout late at night and I'm exhausted. I'm doing it because I want to be there for my kids longer. I want to do everything in my power to do as much as I can for my kids. And never forget, that includes showing up well for your wife as well and treating her properly, because your kids are watching. How your sons are going to treat their wives and your daughters are going to be expecting to be treated. As always, I appreciate you spending your time with me. This is Jonathan, the Evolved Dad, signing off.